All right, welcome everyone. Today we're diving into an explainer that explores a genuinely vibrant, unstoppable force that is literally on the precipice of a brand new era. I'm talking about the African micro, small, and medium enterprise, the MSME. Listen, whether you're a local trader moving goods across borders, an entrepreneur building a brand completely from the ground up, or an investor looking for the absolute next massive frontier of growth, you are the hero of this story. Today, we're going to unpack this roadmap together and see exactly how it's going to directly impact the way you do business over the next few years.
Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to think about the number 90, because a staggering 90% of all businesses in Africa are SMEs. You know, when we talk about the African economy, we aren't just talking about these massive multinational conglomerates. We're talking about you, the local traders, the innovators, the small-scale manufacturers. You're not just a small part of the economy, you literally are the foundation of it.
And because you make up 90% of all businesses, you also carry the heavy weight of employment. SMEs in Africa create 2 out of every 3 jobs on the entire continent. I mean, that is a massive responsibility. But actually, scratch that. It's more than a responsibility, it's an immense amount of sheer economic power. But with all of this power comes a really vital question that every single business owner and investor absolutely needs to answer. Are you ready for what comes next?
So, to answer that, let's look at the inciting incident of our journey today. The global market is going through a massive, unprecedented transformation. We're rapidly approaching the year 2026, and honestly, the old ways of doing international trade are fading away. The rules of the game are changing incredibly fast, and if you aren't actively paying attention to the horizon, it's super easy to get caught off guard. Let's move to our next point and see how this builds. As we look toward 2026, we're facing a landscape where tariffs are shifting globally, completely altering the cost of doing business. Supply chains, which, used to be pretty reliable and linear, are being completely redrawn right now due to global fragmentation. At the exact same time, climate rules are getting exponentially stricter. And perhaps the biggest wake-up call of all, digital trade and the integration of artificial intelligence are no longer optional nice-to-haves. They're absolutely mandatory if you want to compete. Because these shifts are so dramatic, the International Trade Center, or the ITC, has just released its strategic plan for 2026 to 2030. Now, they didn't just write this to sit on a shelf and gather dust. This roadmap is designed with one distinct, incredibly urgent purpose: to make absolutely sure that African MSMEs do not get left behind as the rest of the world evolves. The ITC plan is built on 4 core pillars, acting as a clear guide to navigate this whole new world.
So the very first pillar of this roadmap is value-added trade and innovation. For decades, the narrative has pretty much been all about exporting raw materials out of the continent. But that model leaves the lion's share of the profit sitting right there on the table. The urgent need right now is for African businesses to aggressively move up the value chain. It's all about capturing the true worth of what you produce, right at the source.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what I mean. Moving up the value chain means shifting away from that old model of just exporting raw coffee beans and cocoa. The new, highly profitable goal is exporting beautifully roasted, branded coffee and premium finished chocolate. I mean, it's the exact same raw resource, but by innovating and adding value locally, your profit margins and global brand recognition absolutely skyrocket. This is for sure where the future of African wealth creation lies.
That brings us right to the second goal, green and digital transitions. And listen, I cannot overstate how critical this is. The global market is drawing a very firm line in the sand right now. If your business isn't embracing green standards and going digital, international doors are going to abruptly close in your face. It's no longer just about having a good product, it's entirely about how you make it and how you sell it.
So what does this actually mean practically, on the ground for a trader? Well, digitally, it means leveraging tools like AI to actively locate and secure international buyers rather than just waiting around for them to find you. On the green side, it means being able to definitively prove that your local farms and production methods meet incredibly strict new global requirements like the EU sustainability standards. Make no mistake, compliance is the new currency of global trade. Okay, moving on to the third pillar in the ITC strategy, inclusive trade. The future of trade simply cannot just be for a select few at the top. This plan heavily focuses on the vital roles that women, youth, refugees, and persons with disabilities absolutely must play in the economic ecosystem. These groups have historically been marginalized, but this plan flips the script entirely on how they're viewed in the global market. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it frames a very specific, powerful mindset. By including women, youth, and persons with disabilities, you are not a charity case. It is a competitive advantage. This completely changes the narrative, right? Inclusive trade isn't about pity, it's about sheer economic power. Diverse businesses are way more resilient, they're far more innovative, and they open up entirely new networks and markets.
The fourth and final pillar is SME advocacy. For far too long, the people doing all the heavy lifting, the MSMEs, just haven't had a voice in the rules that govern them. This goal ensures that SMEs finally get a real seat at the table. You're going to have a much stronger, formalized voice in national, regional, and global policies. And yes, this includes having a direct say in ongoing negotiations for the African Continental Free Trade Area, or AfCFTA, making sure the rules actually work for the people on the ground.
So the crucial point is, a beautifully written white paper is really just the beginning. The ITC isn't just publishing reports and walking away. They're actually rolling up their sleeves to do the hard work on the ground, helping businesses transition through these 4 pillars.
Let's explore how they're actually taking action. If your biggest challenge is outdated processes, the ITC's solution is to step in and help you upgrade your products. If you're facing a lack of capital, they're actively connecting MSMEs directly with finance and investors. They're also training business support organizations across Africa so they can serve you better. When bureaucracy gets in the way, they're going to push governments to cut that red tape. And to cure those frustrating market blind spots, they're delivering real-time trade intelligence so you know exactly which market wants your product and exactly when they want it.
When you combine these massive global shifts with the ITC's actionable roadmap, you start to see something pretty incredible forming right here at home. This isn't just about merely surviving global changes. It's about capitalizing on a massive, historic opportunity that is specifically positioned for the African continent. The timing literally could not be more perfect for local traders and investors.
Just look at our distinct African advantages right now. South-South trade is growing at an incredible pace. Regional integration is deepening every single day. And the AfCFTA is actively removing barriers, uniting what used to be a fractured map into a massive, cohesive market. The ITC plan is perfectly aligned with these current African realities, giving you the exact tailwind you need to expand.
But here is the reality check as we look at your next steps. The ITC plan provides a brilliant, comprehensive roadmap, sure, but as they say, a map is not the territory. To actually walk the path, MSMEs still need a local guide. You still have to navigate the daily grind of securing permits, getting licenses, proving you meet these crazy new standards, and unlocking that vital financing. You really can't do it alone.
And that is exactly where this global plan meets your everyday reality. At Trade Insider Africa, our mission is to help exporters and importers navigate these incredibly complex systems, permits, and licenses across Uganda and the wider African continent every single day. If you're ready to take full advantage of this new era of trade, we genuinely want to help. You can book a free 15-minute trade consultation today to see exactly how your specific business fits into this bigger picture.
The ITC's 2026 to 2030 strategic plan has officially opened the door to the future of global trade. The only question left is, will you walk through it? Be sure to subscribe, share this explainer with a fellow trader or investor